So today I just want to catch up on a few things with you and just let you know that this is where magic happens. And of course it happens everywhere, in the studios, it happens in the cities, but it also happens in places like this. Yes, beautiful, beautiful places like this. So, yes, the follow-up to my album Legends on the Map is coming out this year, and of course look out for the remix to Day by Day song. And this place as well is to remind you that every day you can create something beautiful, you can go to an interesting place, you can travel, you can vibe, you can make something different in your life. Just go out there and explore. So when you think about the United Kingdom, sometimes when you think about England, when you think about the different places around here, sometimes you might think that it's London and it's the ends and it's the music that shaped, of course, culture in the UK and also around the world, like grime and dubstep and all the other genres, drum and bass and jungle. But also just remember that jungle has the roots in reggae, and reggae has the roots in traditional styles in the Caribbean, and that music has the roots in something more tribal and more close to nature. And this is where it starts. It starts from places like this, from listening to the sound of the water, from listening to the wind, and going to places like this. So people have always been inspired by places like this. They have been checking out, you know, they have been sitting in places of power and just meditating, and everything in the universe, let me just say that, is based on sound. And what is sound? It's vibration. So right now you can see vibration behind me. It's the water, and vibration that you hear, the sound, also essentially is the same thing, and it represents mathematically the same way as a wave, and as the light wave and the sound wave. And of course you can feel the waves here. And when we are putting those legends on the map, we are also creating waves to change everything. We are making things happen, and these are the waves of history. Yes, these are the waves of eras in music, in culture, in many different aspects. In art, it's all about creating the wave, and it's not about jumping the bandwagons. So the next wave, major wave, is called the Golden Age. So it's also a wave. And of course, where can we draw the inspiration? Because remember that it's all about things that can stand the test of time, and of course, in the eyes of eternity, how long is whatever you are making going to stay there for? But in the eyes of eternity, we're looking at creating something that is as powerful as the idea of planets and solar systems and beautiful sceneries like this. So this is art. This is art, and we are creating art. Yes, of course, we don't forget that even when we are in places like this, when we are in amazing, natural, beautiful sceneries like this, we also remain the geeks that we are. So of course we read all about the compressors, the Golden Age compressors, and the EQs and everything, because the way that we create music is today is that we know that it's analog and digital coming together. So we're bringing the knowledge from the ancient times in terms of the existence of the waves and the sound waves in the world, and we are also connecting it with our knowledge in technology. And just to let you know that technology also existed in the ancient times as well, and that's how those civilizations were built. So these mountains, they have seen a lot more than is taught in the history books. And these lakes, this lake is actually called Ulster Lake, and this is where many poets as well drew their inspiration, English poets. So this is one of those places where you can get truly inspired. But in 21st century, 2019, as we count in the modern day calendar, as we count, that's what we do. We stay in the city, we make the music in the studios, and we also come to relax and chill and vibe. And of course, the weather today is absolutely amazing. Yes, so just remember that everything in the universe is represented by the wave. So that's why in many cultures all around the world, it doesn't matter where you go, the legend goes that the world was created from the sound, the wave. In the beginning there was the word. In the beginning there was the sound. Yes, in the beginning, who was here? And this is how those legends have been passed down many, many generations, thousands and thousands of years, and even longer than that if you are going outside of this solar system, of course. And everything vibrates in the universe. So this is why music is the main form of art that creates everything. And just like when you throw a stone in the water and it creates waves, this is how you throw the thought out there and it creates the waves and it changes the situation. And it can also, if you look at the way that the planets move around in the solar system, also how the solar systems in the galaxies, if you look at the galaxy itself, the shape of it as well, you will see that all of that represents in the macrocosm, the same way as we know about the microcosm here, and we just throw a stone in the water. It also creates a wave, and it represents that kind of mandala effect if we represent it in graphics. So this is why it's so important. So that's why music right now, in this time and age, in the age of technology, and at the same time reconnecting with nature, this is why music is the #1 form of art. And all the other forms of art, whether it's visual, they can represent that as well, and they come hand in hand. So music is also the art, the main form of art of today and the future. And of course it has always been used in in different religious practices, and it has been used as well in the concerts, in the shows, and also in terms of bringing people together. And if you just listen to nature, you will hear music ultimately. Planets make sound, everything is a vibration, and the word is also sound. So when we say that in the beginning there was the word, you have to think about it that this is a very powerful tool. So this is why writers and singers of the word can be so powerful. But as long as we don't reduce it to mere entertainment, and we remember how it used to be in the time times that these mountains remember. This is what it really is about. Words are very powerful, words are magic, and words are here to write the new book of life and the new legend in the making for the golden age to come into this world. And this is the time when we also will be appreciating nature more and more, so that we know that this planet Earth is a very special place, just like in my song Home. I sing about it. You have to appreciate that. This is a place where you can combine the two, but also remember that you have to be in tune with all of the elements. We have the water, the earth I'm standing on, the air that we breathe, and also we have fire. If we were to fire represents, the fire energy also represents not necessarily just making the fire, but also the energy of creativity, of the power that pushes it. So fire energy is something that people need within themselves if they are the creatives, to push themselves forward. So when somebody is saying that you're not good enough, or you don't know anything about your craft, or you're not going to make it, it's the fire energy within yourself that you need to bring out that will help you keep pushing no matter what anybody says. The water energy is something different as well, and it's about going deeper, and it's about really feeling on an emotional level something that like feeling on emotional level, really receiving and being compassionate. That's the water element that's within us. The air element is the element of pure creativity, like the spirit. If I breathe, when you say the breath of life, you breathe life into art, you breathe life into music, and that's when it's transcends time, and people still sing those songs and they pass them through generations. You breathe music, you breathe also to sing, you have to breathe. You breathe in and you breathe out to speak. So that's why they say that in the beginning there was the word, and from the word everything was created, because mind, thought, breathe and release the sound and create it and speak it into existence. So the air energy is the energy of pure creativity, the ideas that are being also connected with the breath of life, and then you need to breathe it so that the fire could start and you could actually go with it and follow your dreams. And the earth element also represents the, being grounded and being connected with the realms of this material world. So too much earth means that somebody could be too materialistic, overly concerned about everyday routine and just money and just getting by, and not really thinking deeper why they live, not thinking about the purpose of their lives. So you have to have a balance of the different elements within yourself to really live a fuller life. But you also still need to understand the earth element to be able to handle everyday business, to be able to handle everyday situations, and be also disciplined in terms of just doing routine things that are not necessarily fun, but they have to be done. Think about how you're going to provide for yourself or your family and things like that, if you are living within a society. If you choose to live in the mountains like this, then of course you can just meditate all day, and you can possibly discover some knowledge about the universe while meditating here, and maybe you don't need it. Maybe you don't need the money at that point. But if you're living within the society, which is very, very possible. And actually today we need more wise people within the society, because it gets way too disconnected. We can't have it so much disconnected. In the past as well, you had the magicians and the shamans and the wise people always guiding people who lived the normal life. So it wasn't disconnected. You need that as a part of the society, of the everyday life, for the society to be progressing and not regressing. You can have love for art and have love for the other person. It is possible to also love yourself, love another person, love art, and essentially this would be, at the deepest level, it can be the same kind of love. And it can be unconditional. It can be just because you love that person, or you love to create. However, what really happens with that type of love is that it never fades, it never goes away. So to know if it's that kind of passion and not just some kind of feeling that we have because it's fun, to know there is that kind of passion, it means that you would do it alone, you would do it anyway, you would do it whether you're getting paid or not, whether you are approved by society or not, you do it because you love it. You'll do it alone in these mountains. You'll do it just because you wake up and it's just a part of yourself to love art and to love that person. So passion in that sense does represent the fire element, the fire energy. So when we say burning that flame, burning the fire, in that sense, yes, it can be. But again, we have to check that it's real love when we're comparing it to love for art, and that love for art is essentially that kind of feeling when you know it's not just going to pass by, it's something very, very deep within yourself, it's at your core. And also it's connected, but at the same time, by itself, it can be just by itself, or it can be connected with the purpose. So if you know why somebody has the passion for art and also the talent and what they're ready to do and what they want to do, then it's all very much connected, and it's all a lot more solid as well and unbreakable. So yes, and but it's very it's very important to find that purpose and to know what it is for. And of course, when I was talking about the four elements, that also is represented by the album cover for The Alchemist, my first album, and where I'm standing in the center, connecting all of those elements as the creative, the producer, listening to the beat of the universe. That's what I'm saying, because on the macro level, we are just, might be having a party here. We might just play music, like I was just playing Bob Marley earlier, just sitting here. And this is on the micro level, we're connecting and the music vibrates. And on the macro level, every single second in the timeline that we're in here on Earth, somewhere out there a star is born, or a comet is flying, or another life is born. So just think about it, that this universe is so huge and there is so much more to it. There are so many dimensions and levels, multi-levels, multi-dimensions, multi-vision. So when you look at things with just your normal vision, just think about it, that there's a lot more to see on the spectrum. So we have a spectrum of the waves that we can hear, that we can see, and there's a lot more hidden as well. And in the timeline of this planet, of the Earth, somewhere out there in the universe, something else is happening. And all of that is vibrating. And how can you know that something happened there? It's because you can look out into space, and you can also, at the moment, you can send spacecraft out there as well and receive signals from distant galaxies and timelines. as well. Why? Because they vibrate right across, and they come, and the signal is received. So it's the same way on the macro level, the same way as you're picking up the phone and you're using your Wi-Fi, you're calling people, you know, across the pond or anywhere else. It's the same kind of thing. So there's a lot more to see. But yes, the golden age is going to be about that. And of course, art and music and love are going to be the most important things in the golden age. That's why it's going to be called the golden age, because it's going to be all about everything that's beautiful, just like this scenery behind me.